till the sun up. Tell my bitch don't wait up. I get 100 killer. I go brush and tiller. Shot it when a dealer. I'm a drug dealer. I'm a gang dealer. I'm a bitch then
What is up, guys? Kamari coming back at you with another video. And for the ones who do not know me, my name is Kamari. I am a 20-year-old young entrepreneur, as I would hope everyone else is pursuing or aiming to be. I've been financially independent for going on 4 years now. I've been providing for myself and I haven't had anything paid for from a parent or anything. So I already kind of started this at a young age. So when I kind of tell a lot of my other friends what I do and how long I haven't had any help from parents, they are kind of surprised because it's kind of a long time and I started younger than how other people would start. So with me, my first ever job was when I was 16. I actually had 2 jobs. My first job I was working at Wendy's, and then my second job I was working at Chipotle, and I was working both at one. I was working both of them at once during a certain time frame, but it started getting too much for me to handle. So first I let go of Wendy's, and then Chipotle, the management was terrible, so I ended up quitting that. So then after that, before I even quit Wendy's, I used to do vlogging, so YouTube and stuff like that, as I'm doing now. I just always liked the idea. Even since I was young, I started doing YouTube around maybe when I was 11 to 13, just uploading Lego videos, just anything that I can really push out. I had my own landscaping company when I was around that age too, so I was going around the neighborhood cutting yards, so I was uploading videos of my equipment, trampoline videos, Lego videos. I was always interactive, trying to find a new way of how to become out there and just try anything, I was always open to it, and I love the idea of just going around filming stuff that you do in your normal life and being able to get paid and pull in an audience off of that. So I still like the idea of it to this day, so I still give it a try even though we go nowhere. But everything's an experience. So when I was working at Wendy's, I started making my own little money, and here in Orlando we have something called Halloween Horror Nights. So I was able to buy my first pass with my cousin. So I started going to Halloween Horror Nights with one of my coworkers at Wendy's and then my cousin. So when we would be at Halloween Horror Nights, we'll do social experiments and vlog and stuff like that. And I think it was on our maybe 3rd or 4th night going and vlogging that I met these group of kids that were similar to our age. They were very like us, just the vibes they gave off was just very must-have in a friend group. And it was always me, my cousin, and my other friends. So we already was kind of a small group. And he went to a different high school, so my high school friends I'll hang out with occasionally, but I only really hung out with my cousin. And then I just play Fortnite with everybody, so nothing really major. So I met these group of kids, we did a YouTube video with them, we ended up getting really, really close. So then we started hanging out more and more. And then that's when COVID ended up happening. I think I was a junior in high school. Was I a junior or senior? I don't remember. I was probably a senior, I think. Yeah, it happened when I was a senior, but I don't remember how long it was going on for. But yeah, so I was a senior when it happened, and then I was just hanging out with them a lot, spending a lot of time with them. And I come from a way different environment than what I was introduced to by them. I come from a lower income area than compared to them, so the stuff they do for fun and stuff I do for fun is completely different. Me, I'll probably stay inside, play video games. Them, it's a whole different ballpark. It's going out, and it's just a bunch of activities that I feel every child or person should grow up and have at least once, just to experience it. So when COVID came around, I actually ended up bunkering down and staying with them, and for almost a year I lived with them straight. I left home. I remember I said I was already financially independent, so I left home. I didn't have my parents pay for anything, so my parents weren't happy about it, but this was I just felt I didn't want to be held down no more. I was young, I met new friends. I was getting happy vibes. I wasn't having to worry about anything. We always did fun stuff. I was just so high off of life at the time. I just ran with it. And during lockdown, every day was crazy. We'll go out, ride bikes, and just stuff you wouldn't do, the normal stuff. And be rebels just felt like a little bit of fun, even though it was not major. Just being rebels in general, just like it felt fun that we were out doing stuff when the whole world was basically on lockdown. So yeah, I started doing that, and then I was living with them, and then one of my friends' moms actually owned a restaurant. So then I got the opportunity to start working with them, which was very much appreciated. So I started working with them, and then the whole friend group started working there. So that was such a vibe. I explored that for a little bit while I think I was 17. I just had turned 18, maybe. I think I was 17 still. I don't even, yeah, I was 17. I'm sorry. So I was 17 working there. We were all working there, just enjoying it and stuff like that. Everyone just slowly started quitting and stuff like that. I was the last one, I think. And then I finally ended up quitting. And then I moved slowly away from that group because the incident happened, and I went back to my family's house, but this time I went and lived with my dad. So when I lived with my dad, I tried to figure things out of like, what should I do now? Like, I'm further from the group and stuff like that. This is before I even like had a car or anything and got settled. So when I was living with them in the neighborhood, everything felt fun and stuff because I had to not worry about transportation, yada, yada, yada. So then I started working at this place called Portillo's. It's from up north, and down here in Orlando in Florida, we don't have that. So when it came, it got a lot of traction. So I was working there for about maybe, I don't even know, not long at all. Another incident happened there. I got let go there, and then I started working right next door at the store called White Castle. White Castle is like a burger place, a mini burger place, basically. It's from up north as well. We don't have many of them down here. So when it came down here, got a lot of traction. I was making burgers, flipping burgers. I'll probably throw in a clip like right here or something. I don't know. If I do, I do. But yeah, I was flipping burgers and stuff like that, and it just didn't feel like me. I didn't like the thought of having to work under someone. I didn't like the thought of having to work for someone. I didn't like the thought of waking up, going to work. I always loved the thought of being independent and like working by myself, making my own money and stuff like that, even from when I was young. And I feel like with today's day and age, social media has a lot to influence on a person's brain because TikTok, getting fame and everything, like a social status is every day in today's life. Like, I hate to admit it, but it is. And a lot of people will agree. Because if you don't have a social status, if you don't have wealth, or if you don't have cool things to brag about, you're kind of just seen as a normal person. Like, people hang with you if they hang with you and yada, yada, yada. But nowadays, if you have a social status, wealth, or cool things, people are going to want to beg to hang with you, always want to be with you. You know, you're going to be a popular person, of course, which is, I don't think that'll ever die down. But it's just the way life is. So, yeah, I experienced the TikTok fame. I managed to make 121K on TikTok, not money wise. I managed to gain 121K followers, and then my account ended up getting banned. So stupid, just all these dumb errors. But over COVID, I managed to pull in a lot of views, so I got to experience the fame. I enjoyed it, and now I'm back starting little, but I don't even really care because I was fortunate enough to experience it. So I feel like in life, if it don't ever happen again, I experienced it once, and I'd rather someone who's more fortunate to have it than me, because, you know, it was just an experience. Everything in life is an experience. They come and go, you know, better things happen down the road. So, anyways, yeah, I just got tired of it. So I just was finding new ways to try to branch out and make new money and stuff like that. So a friend of my friend actually started day trading. He didn't start day trading stocks. He's been day trading stocks since he was like maybe 14 or so, or 13. But he was, like 16 or 17. He's 17, pulling in 3 million a year. I'm like, dude, what? He has a Lamborghini, like all these fancy cars, and the stuff I was explaining that what you should have in life is like the perks. He had all the perks basically. So I always see to myself, like, what does this person have to get that I don't, and what does this person do to get that, and how could I mimic what that person's doing to get there, and what do I need to get there? So a little bit about day trading. If you're familiar with the stock market, a lot of people see the stock market as when you invest money into like Google, Apple, Amazon, whatever it may be, those big companies, and you hold it and let your money invest. I was always on board with the thought of that, like when it was the coins or whatever, crypto, but like I never liked the thought of long-term longevity money. Like, I like more quick-term money. So when I found out that you can trade stocks within a day and buy and sell and make money. That just interested me, and like watching the videos of my instructor and everything, just seeing how quick so much money could be made off of sitting in front of a screen just intrigued me, and like it had me attached from then. So since then I've been like doing it fully. Like that's my full-on like full-time job is what I would consider at this point. So I started binge watching YouTube for about 2 to 3 weeks or so, and I was watching my instructor, really amazing, Sean Deckmar. I recommend him to anyone who's trying to get into stocks. It's SeanDeckmar. But yeah, big fan of the community, like everything on YouTube with the free videos showing how to do certain things, how to read certain things, and just how to read the whole market in general. That helped me in a matter of a week. I started picking it up, and there's something called paper trading where you can trade the real markets but with fake money. So when I started doing that and really started like analyzing and understanding the market, I started picking up. And I had a little money sat to the side. So I was like, okay, well, maybe let me just start trying with this and then see what I can do with it. So I started with 8K, I believe. I started with 8K, and then I was telling my cousin about it. My cousin always had an open ear for it, but he wasn't fully on board like I was at the time. He was working at a car wash, and I was working trying to jump out in the wind and see if I get caught, you know? So I started doing it, and I started seeing very good returns in it. I started learning how to read volume. I level 2, everything that you need to know for the basics to get in and out, and just, you know, with big capital and high moves on such low currency prices, like stocks with low I'm sorry, I'm all over the place right now. Stocks that cost a low price, and with big capital you can buy a lot of shares. So big movements causes big gains, and you don't have to hold it as long. So I was like, perfect, this is where I want to be. Penny stocks sound amazing. I love the thought of it. You can buy a lot of shares for a cheap price, sell when it goes up, and then boom, instant money. Who wouldn't want to do this? So of course everyone has losers and everyone has winners. It really just depends on how you average it and discipline it, and just really, it's really a mind concept that you really got to be disciplined with, because if you trade with your emotions, it'll really get the best of you, and that's something that eats a lot of people up, and I see a lot of traders lose because of stuff like that. So with me being 19 and trying to do stocks and trying to somehow make money anyway, it was kind of, I think I was 18, I'm sorry, me being 18, trying to find out how to make my own money and stuff like that. I'm like, what could I do? So I started doing that. I started seeing very good returns. I started learning more and more. I'm sorry. And I started to get better and better at it. And once I started to perfect it and like being able to be confident in my trades, that's when I told my cousin. I was like, okay, you know, I'm actually starting to see some returns in this, and you know, I believe we can go somewhere with it. So are you in? And of course, my cousin being my cousin, and us going way back, like Xbox days, will always be on Minecraft, Fortnite, GTA, whatever it may be. We always stayed on the game all the time. So this was my go-to. If I had a business plan, I know if anyone was going to be on board, it's going to be this person. One thing that I would do now, if I had an option to go back and change everything into my younger self, I would have started stocks earlier. I would have opened an LLC, and I would have been more disciplined and responsible with credit cards, because credit is key. People may not tell you this, but credit is key, and it is needed in our everyday life, and it is forever going to be needed in our everyday life, because with good credit, you can go on a car dealership, you can get a nicest car and walk out with no down payment. You can get houses, you can get apartments, you can get phones, all these different type of cool gadgets and like perks of having good credit, as to where you have low credit and you're not accessible. You don't have access to as much money as people with credit do. So it's just a big role that I wish I learned more of and stuff like that. But anyways, so he jumped in, he opened an account with 8K. We started trading side by side. His first ever trade with me, he won 1,500. And he started freaking out, and he called his job the same day and quit, and called his mom, told him he's doing this full time.
Hey mom.
Everyone's all on board. We were the first
So
ones in our family
I'm quitting my
jump
9
out
to
and try
5.
something like this and actually be profitable in the stock market and actually see good returns and stuff like that. So we did that, and then eventually we ended up combining our account, and our account was at a balance of like 20. We ended up putting a little more money in, and money off of winning our trades. We were at like around 20 something K, above 20K. So when we were jumping in trades, it was like in seconds we'll be up 1,500 and stuff like that. And we were just doing it every day, trading side by side. And it just felt so better because when you're at such a young age and you can do everything for yourself and you can go out and make your own money and you can go out and do this and that, it just makes you feel better as a person because it feels like you're higher than where you need to be. You're higher than most people your age, and it makes you feel good about yourself whenever you feel like you're slacking, you're behind, or you're not doing anything with your life. Because then when you have that reality kick in and you have a mental setback, you realize, okay, I'm doing a job that only 10% of the world can do and 90% of the world fails. I'm doing a job that people can't do until they're 35. I'm doing a job that it takes people to learn years to do, and I'm learning it in the matter of 2 years. So I'm definitely very, very, very appreciative, and I'm thankful for everything that I did and in my steps to get me here. I'm very appreciative with all the opportunities that I've had from friends and people, just, jobs and stuff like that, and meeting new people in marketing that really helped me get to where I am now. And honestly, I wouldn't change nothing about what happened in the past that was bad or anything, because regardless, it got me to where I am. I learned a bunch of experiences and I met a lot of people, and I am financially set and I provide everything for myself at the age of 20. So this here is the setup where I trade every day. I keep 2 monitors up. Right now I just started playing with futures. So this is NinjaTrader and then this is Webull, and then on the top screen I usually just keep the Apple TV connected up there. Nothing too major, but yeah, I've been doing this by myself for a while, so I've just always been eager to get money, and I like the thought of being able to buy whatever I want in the future, and just seeing everyone live my dream life is motivation, and it's what keeps me going. It makes me determined, eager, and everything to stay on the right path. So I just want everyone to know, like, don't think anything's impossible just because someone's beating you down and weighing in on you. Like, I definitely believe that the people you surround yourself around is definitely a big role on how you come out in the future and how your life plays out. Because if you're surrounding yourself around negativity, people that just leech off you, people that just want to have fun with your items, people who just like you for your clout, your money, whatever it may be along that lines, like, those people don't get you nowhere in life, and those are people that are here just for the time being. Those people are fun for the time being that you leave when you go to the future. When you're doing successful, it's like sometimes you got to learn what to let go and who to let go. And I feel like me being 20 and all the other young adults watching this, that's something that we really need to process more and really think about. Because even though everyone likes the thought of fun and having fun and not sitting inside and stuff like that, like, if you want to get it in life, you're really going to have to give up a lot of stuff. Like, you're really going to apply the consistency. You're going to have to really want it. You're going to have to be eager and everything. So you can't just want it and think you're going to get it. Like, no, you're going to have to get up and get off your ass and, like, go get it. So it's really important to us that we recognize real from fake in today's society, because there's a lot of people that just use us to get what they want and stuff like that. And I feel like it hurts us mentally, because with today's society, it's so hard to find people that's real for you and people who's really down for you and going to be there for you and motivate you and push you to success. So it's very, very important that you can pick out those people in life and separate the two, so you know who are your friends for now and who are your friends forever. Because those are 2 different type of people in life. Your friends forever are always going to push you, motivate you, and tell you when you're in the wrong and tell you when you're slacking. Those friends for now are just going to let you slack. They're going to let you fall. They're going to let you get off track. Because why? Because why? It doesn't affect them. So you always got to think about yourself at the end of the day. You got to push yourself to be that bigger person. You got to put on a picture for everyone, and you always got to be a role model, which I always try to be for a lot of the people out there. And I appreciate everyone that tunes into my channel and watches this. And if you actually made it this far in the video, you're actually really goated. And thank you for listening to me blab. But it just really feels good to give my standpoint on my financial journey and trying to get to where I don't need to have people in life, and I can just go out and do my own thing. I can just go be happy, like, an apartment's coming next, and I really plan on taking photography and YouTube serious. The camera's not working right now. It's acting very stupid, but anyways, we're gonna get it fixed and we'll be back in action. But I just wanted to let you guys know, like, never let any obstacles hold you back. Obstacles there to meant to be jumped over. Like, you may not make it the first time, but you may make it the third, fourth, fifth, sixth time. Who knows? Like, if it doesn't happen right away on the first time, don't expect it to be a fail. That just means you gotta practice, you gotta study, you gotta go back to the planning board. And that's where everything's gonna take place at, the planning board. That's where you're gonna decide who you drop, who you leave behind, what you're gonna do with life, what you're not gonna do with life, what you gotta stop doing, and what you gotta do, you know? And it just really plays a big factor in our life, and I just want you guys to know that, like, these are things that should be think about heavily. And hopefully you guys can join me on my journey. So I'm gonna try to upload more and get more videos out, and if you stay to watch this far, you're actually a top G. This is Kamari, and I'll catch you in the next one.